Thank you for joining, everybody. My name is Zach Antunes. I'm a solutions architect here at DBeaver. And again, we're going to be showing you some of the new updates that are available in DBeaver 26.1. If you haven't heard of the DBeaver Enterprise Edition, it's like our sort of flagship desktop tool for enterprises with features for developers, data engineers, analysis, and now we've got a lot more features that incorporate AI into the mix. And so we'll get into some of those features today. Today, we're going to be going over a few of the key improvements again that we made in 26.1. So we're going to be going over some features that we added into the AI feature set, specifically around MCP servers. I'll talk about what an MCP server is a little bit, just to give you a high level idea of what those are. We'll go over improvements that we made to the SQL editor, specifically the SQL execution plan, go over features that we made to the data editor, and then also a little bit of retooling that we did with the data transfer tool. And then we'll go ahead and leave time at the end for some Q&A. So let's go ahead and get started. So again, the first thing we're going to talk about is how we've enabled external AI MCP servers actually in the AI chat. So if you've been a user of DBeaver Enterprise in the last probably like 2 years, then you've probably used the AI chat assistant. Super helpful if you don't want to write your queries by hand. Obviously, that's kind of how things are going, now that we have like vibe coding and things like that. But now we've added tools that you can incorporate your MCP servers, or rather so that you can incorporate your MCP servers into the DBeaver AI assistant. If you're not familiar with what that acronym is, MCP, it stands for Model Context Protocol. And really what it is it's a way to incorporate disparate systems into your AI, call it like an AI client. So think of like if you're, a popular tool is going to be like Claude Code, Cursor, OpenAI Codex. Using all those tools, you can hook into an MCP server for like Gmail to analyze your emails, for example, if you'd want to do that with your Claude Code, for example. In the case of DBeaver, now we can pull those into the DBeaver client. So the way that we do that is if I go into the settings, I'm on a Mac, so I just click on like DBeaver Enterprise here, go to settings, and then I've already got it open, but we've got a bunch of different tools. So if you want to, you can go ahead and pick like which AI tool you want to use. So I'm going to use OpenAI, I'm going to use GPT 5.4, and then I'm going to decide which MCP servers I want to add. So I'm going to use an MCP server. It's called Context 7. It's a tool, or rather an MCP server that pulls from like documentation. And I'll show you kind of obviously what that looks like in the DBeaver context. But yeah, so it pulls in documentation. And then when I click on the MCP server, it's got different allow modes. So since MCP servers can sometimes expose like lots of different information, and you want to establish some governance over, what kind of information it can pull or when it can pull that, you can configure that in this tool section. And then basically in the allow mode, you decide the permissions that you want. So I'm going to have it resolve the Context 7 library ID, always allow, and then I'll just have it ask me when I want to query the documentation. But different MCP servers are going to have different kind of like tools that are included in their settings. And so that's how we do ours. And then just to give you an idea, when you want to add an MCP server, you can do it via HTTP or Studio, add the server URL for HTTP, and typically it's going to follow some sort of paradigm like whatever the key is, and then it'll follow something probably like bearer, and then whatever the key actually looks like. So I've got that set up. And then once I have it set up, then I can start working with it. So I've got this MySQL server open. I've got a Sakilla database, got some like different types of data on it. So I'm going to write something that says it's going to incorporate like the AI coding tool, and it's going to incorporate like the MCP context into it as well. So I'll write something that says, write me a script that will help me analyze my film data according to my SQL best practices based on the docs. So what am I doing here? I'm having the AI assistant write me a script, but then it's also going to kind of like, I don't know, you call it like synthesize the context from the docs. So basically what I'm asking it to do is write me a SQL script, but use the context that you have from the MCP server, from my context 7 server, so that you can make sure that that script follows best practices based on MySQL docs. So I'll run that. And then it's already resolved the context 7 library ID, and now it's going to ask me for permission to run the tool to query the context 7 MCP documentation. And it gives me like a little run through, tells me what it's doing. So it's going to give me probably a few different kind of scripts within a larger script. It's still typing it out right now. And then it's going to give me, it's going to give me like other ideas I could do for prompts. So I'm going to copy that code into the SQL editor. And then we've got lots of different options for analysis. And it did it based on that context from the MCP server. So, there are other servers you can connect into, but what's really nice about having it all in one place is as you're doing your DBeaver workflows, whatever MCP servers you think might help with your ability to analyze data, query databases, you can pull that all into, again, that MCP server setting. Really, really handy, and definitely where a lot of different places are going with their AI tool sets. Once you have the script here, then you can see I've got a lot of different options for analysis. So I can make like a film catalog based on language and category. Let's go ahead and we can do revenues by film. And then you can see it's using payment, rental, inventory, and film. So it's kind of like a film database. And then now a new feature that we have, if I open this up, kind of highlight this script right here, is the SQL explain plan. So if I click on that, now the SQL explain plan just looks a little bit more robust than it did before. So you can see we've got like a tree view that replaces the older graph just for easier navigation. We've got node collapsing for the larger explain plan, so I can just go over here. And then we've even got a little bit of like a heat map, so you can see this node's like red. So it's got like a little bit of a higher cost than these nodes that have like this, more of like a green and a yellow. And then if I click on the node, so let's look at one of these more expensive nodes, then I can see that the cost is pretty high. I can see the details that it's using. So it's using file sort. If I want to, I can click on another one. Cost is a little bit lower, but now we've also got this, the node details actually on the right-hand side, so that you can see all the different kind of costs associated. And then if I go to, let's look at this node, it's got a few more details in it. Then I've got the type, it's a table, it's got that cost there. And then the details, I've got all the different table names I'm using, access type, the amount of rows that it's actually examining, the rows produced, read costs, and if I open this up a little bit, data read per join. So pretty handy there. And then the other thing that you can do now is you can actually ask the AI to explain the execution plan to you. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And it's going to run that and just give me like an analysis basically of my script. So like a question that I'll get as a solutions architect a lot is, do we have tools to help like analyze bottlenecks, help with like scripts improvement? And yeah, this tool is a way, or this the AI explain plan, or rather explain feature with the execution plan can help me figure out like the execution flow, So it just tells me like about the script. So I'm starting with my Sequila server with my film table. And then if I keep going, it's got hotspots. So the payment join, as you can see, is the biggest cost contributor. It's got a pretty high read cost, highest prefix cost. And then if I keep going, I think it'll actually, and then why performance is not ideal, talks about indexing. And then I think it'll give me, yep, it gives me an index that I can make just to probably reduce costs a little bit. It gives me a better query. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and copy this in. I could run this query. So super helpful and just a little bit more robust now of an explain plan. So as you're writing your scripts, getting help with the AI for your scripts, just lots of tools to help you like improve your queries. And then if you're like a database administrator, perhaps you can give even more robust and efficient queries to your customers, users, clients, however it is that you refer to them. Another feature that we added into the mix is the query filters in the data editor. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to open this film table. And as you can see, it's got a bunch of film. I think I can't remember how many films are quite in here, but definitely a lot. And then now what we could do is if I click on this arrow, you'll see we've got different query filters that you can actually save. So if I wanted to, let's go ahead and say I wanted to look at the length of a film. So that's probably minutes. Let's go ahead and do length greater than or equal to 50. So now those films are greater than or equal to 50. If I wanted to do something a little bit longer, let's see if any of them are longer than 200. Nope. We'll go to 160 then. And now I've got all the films longer than 160 minutes. And now what I can do is I can actually keep those filters saved. So if you're running the same filter on a bunch of different, or rather on a data set, and you don't want to have to keep retyping the filter, then you can save the filters essentially in this nifty section. So I can call this the 50 minutes. I can call this 10 minutes. You can rename these filters. And then if you want to save them, then they're here. And if you have to reuse these filters a bunch of times, then they're really easy to get to. It shows me the amount of time I use the filters. If I want, I could double click on the filter again. So again, I've got that 200 filter that doesn't put out anything. I can jump back to my 160 filter. And then, yeah, I can search them, delete them. So just an easier way to manage your queries in DBeaver Enterprise. The next feature that we'll go ahead and talk about is the data export redesign. So I'll go ahead and look at my countries table. So we've got a countries table here, give you an idea of what it looks like, just a few different countries in here with the region ID. Yep. And then if I want to, this is a really handy feature in DBeaver if you're not familiar with it already. The ability to migrate, we can migrate schema, but in this case, we're migrating a table. So it just makes it really easy to move tables around different types of servers. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and export this countries table. And then what we've done is we've just kind of simplified the wizard a little bit. So if you use it before, it would jump into a bunch of different settings that not everybody was using. So what we've done is we've just made it really easy just to come in here. So I'm doing a data transfer. If I go back, I can transfer it with like different formats, but I'm just going to do this database format. And then my target container, it already knows I want to move it over to Postgres, but if I want to, I could choose all different types of areas I want the, or rather all the different types of schemas I'd want to move this table into, but we're going to go ahead and move it into Postgres. And then all I have to do is go ahead, if I want to, I can check out these different settings. But all I have to do is click proceed. And then I was able to migrate this table super easy. So now I've got, if I open up Pagilla, or rather Postgres, now I've got this countries table. As you can see, that took a couple seconds to do. So yeah, just made that data transfer wizard just like a little bit more visually like simpler, I guess we could call it. But yeah, so now I've migrated over that table, super easy. Yeah, anytime you need to move tables between different servers, we can help you do that super easy with DBeaver Enterprise. And then the last kind of what would you call it? Not so much a feature, but just an option if you want to download DBeaver is now we're available in the Microsoft Store. So you can see I've got DBeaver Enterprise pulled up. If I want to, I can type out DBeaver, and we've got the Community Edition, Ultimate Edition. As I said, we're looking at DBeaver Enterprise, so I'll just type in DBeaver Enterprise. And then if I'm in the Microsoft Store, now I can come in here. Got a little preview, got all the other different versions of DBeaver. So I can come in here and download DBeaver from the Microsoft Store if that's how you prefer to download DBeaver. Just need to sign into your Microsoft account so you can install it from there. So that was basically everything I wanted to go through at a high level. Again, what did we look at? We looked at configuring the external MCP server via the AI chat. We looked at the new redesigned execution plan that's got more robust kind of features that you could see the different costs of your plan. You could ask the AI to explain the plan for you. Obviously, the models have gotten really strong now, so you can get really good explanations for your queries. We looked at the now manageable query filters. So if you're doing a bunch of filtering when you're looking at a data set, you don't have to rewrite out a bunch of your, maybe it's like a complex filter you're writing. Don't have to rewrite it a bunch of times. You can just save it, rename it, delete it, whatever you need. We've got the cleaner looking data export feature, and we've got availability now in the Microsoft Store. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen. If anyone wants to, I can go ahead and share that again if you want to see a certain feature. But for now, I'll go ahead and pause. And if anyone has any other questions or features they'd like to discuss, do feel free to let me know. Okay, I would love to, thank you, Naomi. I would love to understand data export on schedule with scheduled tasks. Export tasks, but failing when not active and scheduled. Yeah, so I think the biggest difference with the DBeaver Enterprise, and thanks for the question, Naomi. The biggest difference with the scheduled tasks, so if you're doing like that data transfer that I just showed you, and what Naomi's talking about is, if I share my screen again, is we actually have a feature called tasks. So you can think of tasks like jobs, but what it is it's a way to reuse like actions in DBeaver. So I've got this data export. I can name it data export. And then I can add a table I wanted to export. This is a countries table again. And then it'll probably ask me for a target. So it's going to do that. Got my target. And then I can go through and I can execute that task. So let's do, I already got the countries table in. So I don't know if it would actually like that. And then what I could do is I could save that task. And then if I want to, I can execute that task. Oops. And then there's that database export task. So I can run that whenever I want to. But the difference is that with DBeaver Enterprise, you are running on your local machine. So when your machine's not on, you're gonna we use I think on Windows it's a cron job, or rather it's the can't remember what the Windows version is called. On Mac, it's a cron job. So your machine and the high levels of your machine does need to be on to execute that task. With DBeaver Team Edition, it's running on the server, and so you can execute that task whenever you want, late at night, as long as the server's on. Then you can schedule that task whenever you want to. And Stacy also answered that for you as well. Any other? Sorry, that was kind of a long way to explain it, but thanks for the question, Naomi. Any other questions about DBeaver I can answer for you? Would running on CloudBeaver solve the active user issue? Naomi, are you talking about the export? The yeah, so I'm referring to okay, yeah, so I'm referring to DBeaver Team Edition, which runs on a server. So yeah, that server is now available. You can run it anywhere, but it's now available in the AWS and Google marketplaces. So yeah, if you're running that server, then you can schedule that task on that server, and then you don't need to be like, at your machine. Your machine doesn't need to be on for you to execute that task, and that's like actually a big value add for DBeaver Team Edition, that you can schedule those tasks and run those tasks whenever you please. Yep. Thank you for the question, Naomi. Appreciate it. Any other questions? If you have any more questions, Naomi, feel free to keep them coming. But any other questions for me about DBeaver, then yeah, please let me know. And if not, I will defer back to probably Shannon.
So thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope that you learned something new about the MCP capabilities and all of the new things in DBeaver Enterprise Edition. Please don't forget that you can anytime go to our website and trial them, and also you can find CloudBeaver in Microsoft Store. You can find it in AWS. You can find it in Google Cloud Marketplace now, so you can find it in a lot of different places along with the trial. So I hope you check out DBeaver Enterprise or any of our other editions, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. We're going to send a follow-up, and you can always respond if you think of a question and maybe you forgot to bring it up during this webinar. But thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you, and thank you for being a part of DBeaver. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.